Forgot to explain what happens when you add coax transmission line to an antenna. So I've got my antenna model again, the capacitor, inductor, resistor in series, and you'll see that it starts from open circuit, touches the middle where it's resonant, and then goes back to open circuit. So what would happen if we added some transmission line? Well, I'm going to do that. So I don't have real transmission line today, so what we're going to do is just add electrical delay. Well, or subtract, I should say. So display, hang on, not that menu. Display, scale, electrical delay. And I'm going to add, let's say, negative 65 nanoseconds for reasons that will come clear later. So at the moment it says negative 20 meters of coax. You got to remember with coax, it goes there and back. So this would actually be a 10-meter long piece of coax in reality. And you'll see a 10-meter long piece of coax. It flips everything over the other side of the NanoVNA. However, still starts from open circuit. It will go round, touch the middle, and then you'll still see this go back to open circuit or spiral. It'll spiral around. It'll go around the outside. So the reason why I'm using this length of coax is for reasons that will come clear when I use a 100 ohm resistor and a 22 ohm resistor. So first we're going to use the 22 ohm resistor. Alright, so now we can see what a 22 ohm resistor looks like. It starts from open circuit. It'll go around the center, so on the left hand side of the center there, and go back up to the open circuit position. So what has happened is, yep, it's just a regular low impedance antenna. It has a big loop. Now what happens when we add in our coax? So we'll do that, electrical delay, a negative 65 nanoseconds for us. And you'll see that it still goes around the center. That's something that is consistent, but what's not is now the position that it's in. You'll see it now says 100 ohms. So what's happened is that this quarter wave length of coax that we've simulated has flipped a 25 ohm resistor all the way up to a 100 ohm resistor now. Now I'll show you what happens with a 100 ohm resistor. Okay, so now we have our 100 ohm resistor in. You'll see that it starts from the open circuit again and goes to the 100 ohm position and then comes back around again. So we'll add some transmission line to this and we'll see what it does. Note, currently it says 100 ohms because we are measuring at the feed point. Now let's go display, scale, electrical delay, negative 65. So now you're going to see spiral. Then there's a little tiny, normally you'd see a tiny little loop. At this, it just looks like a little point. It touches 25 ohms and then goes back to the open circuit position. So you'll see something like this. So yeah, the main takeaway from this is look at the size of your loops. If they're little tiny loops, your antenna is high impedance. And if they're big loops that go around the center, then your antenna is low impedance. And you can use balun appropriately, so like 9-to-1s, 4-to-1s on off-center feds and random wires to get these little loops to turn into bigger loops. So the other thing we should address is how do we actually calibrate out this cable? That's quite easy. So you're going to notice, as I said, with a coax, a real coax, no electrical delay now, you start at the open circuit position, and there is an open circuit on this. There's nothing in it. So the whole cable should be here. Now you've noticed that it's rotated along the outside of the Smith chart again. So what we can do, display, scale, electrical delay, and we have a meter of coax here, but you got to think in terms of signals. If we're a signal, we could travel up the end of the coax, hit the end, and then bounce back down. So we've actually got 2 meters of cable to calibrate out. So what we'll do is we'll just start at a number and see where we end up. So with 5 nanoseconds, we got 1 meter of cable. So let's go to around 10 nanoseconds. There you go, 2 meters of cable. And that's pretty much all calibrated out. We can verify this calibration too by using a short standard. So either having a short standard and just, plugging her in. You'll see it move over to the other side. Very good. Or if you want to do it the poverty pack way, just get a piece of metal and shove her in the SMA cable, and there you go, it's over to the short again. Now, one thing that actually does not matter with the Smith chart rotation is that the 50 ohm load point in the center, it rotates around itself, so you actually don't get any rotation, whether it's you don't actually get any rotation on this point because it's in the center of the circle. So I can actually just get, this is calibrated delay out. Now we put the delay back in with the coax, and there you go. It doesn't make a difference. But when I undo the cable, you're going to see that it travels around the outside. And you'll also see it spiral in a bit because of loss. There we go. Radio. I'll leave it at that. Yep. Have fun. VK4 Golf Delta Lima.